right now I'm focused more on training and seeing if I can climb 9A as like a middle-aged dad. When we were in the Bugaboo, Sonnie, Trotter, and Alex Honnold and myself kind of like made a bet. We're like, let's race to the ninth grade, see who can get there first. And so we're sort of dabbling in that world, but that's mostly just kind of like a fun game. I think really where my heart lies is like these big mega adventures right now.
Well, since you brought it up, I have to talk about that a little bit because when I was out, I went up to the Clear Lake Cave with Alex when I was out in Vegas just recently, and I was flailing around on that 12A that, I'll maybe never send moment of clarity, the hardest 12A I've ever gotten on. And then Alex was working on, I think, what might ultimately become like this 9A objective, this kind of link up that he was doing up in that cave. And he mentioned this kind of gentleman's race between you guys and Sonnie, who was also out there not too long ago. I think the three of you guys were out there, right? So
Yeah.
what's the status? What's the update here? And if you were a betting man, who's gonna hit 14D first?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't bet on myself. That's for sure.
Really?
Alex, as with so many things in life, he's so like systematic about it. He chose his 9A like a long time ago. He's probably put 100+ days into it. He goes up there like 3 days a week. He plans his life around it. He's like really on the program. He's training for it, everything. Sonnie and I are so much more loose with it. Um, I think Alex is way closer. We're both of us are like, well, maybe we'll finally pull it together like next fall or something. So that's the status. I mean, I've been training. It's been motivating me. I'm like kind of like firmly in mid 514 range now. Like I can climb mid 514. So I haven't been able to do that in a while. It's good to know I can get back there after being 2 years off with my Achilles and everything. But see if I can bump it up to 14 plus by maybe this spring, but probably next fall. That's sort of where I am with it. I felt like my best, when I started trying to figure out a good 9A for myself to climb, I was like, it should be close to home because if I want my expeditions, my travel to be about adventure. So home can be more about like fitness. So I was like, I got to find a 9A that's close to home. Turns out there's no 9As on the Front Range of Colorado, which is so crazy. There's like 30 of them in Las Vegas, but there's one maybe that you do this boulder problem, this like V13 boulder problem in Clear Creek and link it into like a mid 513 route. That's the only 9A. And I was like, that seems kind of dumb. I'm going to have to find another one. So I found another one that I hope is going to be 9A. It's a route called Grand Ole Opry that I did as a teenager that was a 14B. That's, in my very biased opinion, one of the best sport climbs in Colorado. And then I figured out that you could do like this different start that adds like a 4 bolt 13 plus to the beginning of it because it's on the side hill, so you just start farther down and right. And so I was like, if I'm going to win this race, it has to be a route that I already have dialed, that I'm just adding a bit to. And I think it's going to be amazing.
And
And
it'll be
hopefully
a
it's
first
9A. We'll
ascent.
see.
All right, y'all. Just a quick shout out here for today's sponsor, which is Rungney. Magnus Mitbo started this company. You know it. You've seen it. But why do I love it? Why should you love it? Well, first of all, their clothes are incredibly soft. They're so comfy. They just came out with this banger spring line of shorts and tees. And whether I'm climbing or whether I'm lounging, I just love how Rungney fits. And then the other stuff they make is incredible. Their chalk bags. I'm so psyched on their chalk bags. They've got a magnetic closure that keeps the chalk inside, but it's also so satisfying to open and close. Premium materials. And then what goes inside that chalk bag? Magdust chalk. It's so good. Whether I'm struggling on the moon board or struggling on my project out on rock, that Magdust is keeping my fingers nice and sticky. You guys can check it all out at that link below and use code STRUGGLE to score 15% off. Let's go. I mean, obviously, it's all relative. I'm never gonna push into that grade myself, but I have heard others talk about how important it is to try to push your limits close to home, so that when you go on trips, you can try and get some faster ascents and just enjoy yourself and taste the local flavors and that kind of thing. So that seems like a smart strategy. You mentioned your training for it. Like, what does the training look like?
I mean, I go out and climb. Well, it's funny. I think what I've ended up doing, like when I had my Achilles injury, I was like, I'm going to hire a trainer. I got on the lattice training program. I tried to get stronger fingers than I've ever had. I tried to kind of follow the new school and do the scientific stuff. I started thinking about my diet more. I started tracking things. I was doing a lot of hangboarding. I was doing all that. And I didn't love it, honestly. And so now that I don't have an injury anymore, I'm just reverting back to what I did as a teenager. I'm climbing with my dad. I've been going out with my dad. I've been climbing close to home, like I did when I was a teenager, because I had to, because I was in school. I've been climbing outside a fair amount, like 2 days a week, all winter long. I go outside to sport, and I just like try to kind of alternate hard bouldering, hard climbing on my woody at home, and then going sport climbing outside, and just like a lot of climbing.
Yeah, man, I love that. I just we all have our flavor, right? But I think just like what you've always done is just climbed a lot, and it
Yeah,
makes
and I
sense.
think I've realized in retrospect that what I did as a teenager actually worked really well. Like
Right.
it was so fun, and it kind of brings me back. Like I really haven't focused on. I've done some sport climbing in the last 20 years, but I haven't had a period of like I'll do like a few days a year or something. But now I've been consistently sport climbing for like 2 months again for the first time in over 20 years, and it has been really fun.
Do you remember the last time you climbed a 9A sport pitch?
Oh man, I mean. The last time I climbed a 9A sport pitch was probably at the Fortress of Solitude when I was like, 20, 22 years old. Um,
Like putting up
Flex
flex.
Luther. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple pictures on the Dawn Wall that might be 9A, which are, not really sport climbing. It feels like a very different sport up there. It's like such technical
There's a big difference
climbing.
between climbing in the fortress and climbing the Dawn Wall in terms of
Yeah.
the
Yeah, but even
style.
that was, 2014, so that was 10 years ago. I did do an 8C plus in like 2000 sport route in Sayus in like 2012 maybe. That was the last time I did kind of harder sport route. I went there on a trip with Jonathan Segrist to help him do biography, and while he was doing that, I managed to do a 8C plus. So that was the last time I like spent a month sport climbing before
Right
this.
on. Well, man, we should get you over here to the Red River Gorge. There's, there's Southern Smoke Direct, which I think
Yeah.
could probably put together on a trip out here. Well, you were just out here not too long ago, actually. You're out here with Patagonia.
Yeah. I came out there for 4 days or something, but I wasn't climbing. I was in my cast then.
That's right. That's right. Well, Chris Sharma was out here for just recently for the last Oktoberfest, and I spent some time with him out when he was on the Golden Ticket, and Michaela Kirsch was on Pure Imagination, and it's another example. Not to digress too much from the task at hand here, but you're talking about like when you were younger and you were climbing a lot, and that's what worked. Like that's another one. You look at Chris and like he just climbs. He's working on LeBlanc now. He put down Sleeping Lion not too long ago, and like that dude, it seems like he's allergic to a hangboard.